Hey, this is Cameron, and welcome to the reaction log. Whoa! We have an actual, special, spicy one here for you, and this is one that I've been meaning to get to for a while, but I have a few hang-ups about it. And it's not the fact that it's Metallica, because I will cover Metallica stuff on this classical guitar channel any day. It's the fact that this video comes from a TV show, and it's a 28-minute video. It's gonna take me like 6 hours to react to this thing. So strap in. This is a marathon Sore Hands episode, unless I edit it to be normal length, in which case, enjoy this normal length video. Whoa! What are we getting into? This is a Metallica time warp video. It's one that I actually haven't seen. I feel like this should be a famous video on the internet. This uploaded episode only has 700 views though. So it's this small town band Metallica. Maybe we'll get some more eyeballs on them by featuring them here on Sore Hands. By the way, maybe before I get too far into it, let me go ahead and introduce myself. I am a classical guitarist here on YouTube. And what does it mean to be a classical guitarist in 2025? It means that you were a kid in 2010 and you learned a bunch of Metallica songs on electric guitar before you woke up, and by that I mean you went to college and you realized that you can't actually study metal in college. That's not an option. So you pretty much have to choose between classical and jazz, and classical parallels with metal way better than jazz does. Jazz is just kind of weird, like all the different phrasing and different like ornaments and stuff, it just has nothing to do with metal. But classical, it's pretty similar, honestly. Maybe that's a topic for another day, but for now we're gonna be jumping into Metallica's Time Warp. Whoa. I should go ahead and tell you, again, I haven't watched this, but I think I know what this might be. It's kind of like a science show where they're going to be breaking down like sciencey aspects of music with Metallica. So that's something to consider as we go through this. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Whoa, it's a science show, my lord.
I want to smash the guitar.
Matt and Jeff, you ready?
Yeah. We have a ESP LTD.
Not for long. Whenever you're ready.
Wait, what? So is that the science aspect of the show? They're just gonna be smashing guitars? Let's just destroy the instruments themselves. Also, it's an electric guitar, so I don't feel bad about being destroyed at all. I would rather that guitar be destroyed than donated.
What happens when supergroup Metallica meets Time Warp?
Whoa!
I've never seen my fingers move so slowly before, ever.
Yeah, I love to hear that. Dude, the only way you'd see my fingers moving slowly is in a high-speed camera, alright? Hey, does this count as slow practice?
I didn't know my hairline was receding that far back.
I'm sorry to hear that, Lars. I have the exact same thoughts whenever I record my practice logs with my hair up. Oh my god, my hairline, what is happening? It's not receding though. My hairline's always been like that. I've always looked like this.
There are a lot of things you can say about Jeff Lieberman.
Okay.
I couldn't say a darn thing about him. I don't know who that is. I do know who Metallica is though.
He can jump rope. And he knows how to take a hit. Jeff is also an accomplished musician. Which is why...
This doesn't sound like the music of an accomplished musician, but I digress.
The science of music. Now, I know what you're thinking.
What is this crap? That's exactly what I'm thinking.
What is this, the Grand Ole Opry?
What is this, some backwards freaking hick town? What is this?
Maybe this will change your tune.
Whoa, chord cluster going into Metallica. There we go, alright. It all sounds the same to me. This might be the Grand Ole Opry, I don't know.
Awesome. How's it going, guys?
I'll make all the jokes in the world here. Dude, being near Metallica doing that'd be freaking sick. I'd be flipping out if I was on this film crew.
Let's meet the guys. Singer, James Hetfield.
Yeah.
Drummer, Lars Ulrich.
Is this list in the order of talent? Alright, James, Lars is next. I guess that kind of makes sense.
Guitarist, Kirk Hammett.
Dude, why did they introduce Lars first? Oh my god, I can't believe they did that. Kirk Hammett is way more famous than Lars, surely. What a slight. Oh my lord.
Bassist, Rob Trujillo.
You had to practice that one.
So what do you give the band that has seen it all? Show them things they've never seen before.
We really show you just how not tight you guys are. You guys need to practice. Time warp.
Fingers move so slowly before, ever.
I was gonna make a comment about how do you learn to play so fast without ever examining what your hands are actually doing, because that's basically what he's suggesting. But then I remembered, it is Kirk Hammett playing. That style of shredding is pretty much what you get, I imagine, if you just shred and never actually examine anything anything about your playing whatsoever. Boom, roasted.
I'd like to state for the record that I have no shoes on. Also, I have no underwear on, but
Great, Lars. You're gonna stink up the place, I'm sure.
you can edit that part out.
First up, frontman James Hetfield. And the stresses on James's body and vocal cords are obvious. Even in real time, we notice his intense facial contortions. Now watch at 2,000 frames per second as he literally spits out the lyrics. Even James can't believe the amount of saliva that spews from his mouth.
Wow.
Wow, that's
So when you go to a concert, that's what you get on you.
You're taking a little expensive seats.
Little bit.
of James goes
You
home
don't
with everyone in the
know.
front
You don't even
row.
know it. You can't help.
Ooh, that's what you get when you have to share microphones, too.
You don't want to use this mic.
No. So,
Or maybe you do, actually.
I want to smash the guitar.
well, which guitar do you like the least?
Great, yeah, enough with the music stuff. Let's just break our instruments.
It has nothing to do with like or dislike. We respect our instruments.
Yeah.
But we just want to see how well they're made,
From the inside.
pretty much.
That's the only thing with seeing how well an instrument is made. Once you destroy it, it doesn't matter, because it's destroyed now. So I don't know if this is the best way to go about it, but fair enough. Also, how well made the instrument is. What does that have to do with anything? A guitar is not meant to be smashed on the ground. What do you want, like reinforced guitars that are indestructible and how they sound don't matter at all? At least as far as I know, ideally you want, like, at least when it comes to classical guitars, you want it to be so well made with as little wood as possible that the tension is just barely holding it together. And then that guitar will like resonate really well. That's sort of the idea with lattice bracing versus the traditional fan bracing. You can make the soundboard like super thin so it actually resonates more. Because the wood is thinner, there's less mass on it, so it'll actually move a lot more than a fan-braced guitar because the wood has to be thicker. And in that, the guitar will be much louder. But that guitar will probably break if you drop it over a traditional, like, thicker guitar, I would imagine. So it's like, is this really how you want to go about testing your guitars? How about playing them? I don't know, not destroying them? Sorry. It's an electric guitar, so this is a good thing, ultimately. Destroy the guitar. Destroy it.
All right, so we got a solid body right here, so this should be
Solid
pretty tough.
body, ESP.
Yeah, it's just a piece of wood. That's what electric guitars are. That thing's gonna be indestructible. Therefore, it's the best, right?
LTD, worth about, 20 grand.
Not for long.
He's joking, but could you imagine an electric guitar going for 20 grand? Like, why? Unless the electronics cost like $19,000, it's like, what? Where's the money going? Like, who's pocketing the 20 grand for this piece of crap?
Okay, maybe not 20 grand, but smashing expensive guitars is a time-honored rock and roll ritual.
Let's see how much that LTD is actually worth. Okay, yeah, it looks different, but it's kind of the same as this one right here. $150? That's probably worth it. That might be a little steep, honestly, because you are buying an electric guitar after all, but $150 is pretty cheap. That's what, like going out to a restaurant 3 times? Or you can have a guitar.
Again.
Man, that hunk of wood is really well made, huh? It's a solid piece of wood. What do you expect?
That was a good one.
James was such a fan of that, he wanted an encore.
These people are heathens.
We have a $50,000 X-Tone.
These getting more and more expensive.
They
Easier
are.
to destroy.
This one's got some hollowness to it.
Oh, so there's less wood in it this time. It'll probably break faster. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Let's see.
One goes.
That's my hypothesis.
I'm hoping 2 whacks we can do this one.
I'm expecting 1.
I think you can do it in 1, James. Oh,
There you go.
Not quite, buddy. There we go.
That was the one. All right, man. You want to take a look at these?
I might have a video of me smashing my first classical guitar when I was like 21, because I was an idiot. Should I have donated it? Yes, I should have. But now it's in a sore hands video where I'm smashing it. And you know what? I would do it again.
A solid body guitar is called solid for a reason.
It's solid wood.
I thought the bolt-on neck was the weak point where it was gonna go.
I hypothesized the bolt-on part would be the weak point, but it's actually the solid piece of wood.
Do you remember the old-time string band we met earlier?
No, based on this, I don't want to meet him either.
Now they are going to destroy a $100,000 bass fiddle. Well, maybe not. More with them later. In the meantime,
You really freaked out those hipsters there.
if you're a Metallica fan, you know that in 1992, James suffered second and third degree burns to his arms, face, hands, and legs when he got on the wrong side of one of the band's special effects. Well, some genius thought it would be a great idea to recreate that accident and capture it in high speed.
What? Dude, it sounds like he was disfigured from this accident. You're gonna make him relive it? Hey, remember when you burned your face? Your very identity changed from this one accident that could have been avoided? Let's recreate that.
The most horrifying moment in my life. You want to recreate in front of my eyes?
If you're comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. God, this is just an idea you pitched. This
Then
is
I think
crazy.
it's the potential to help it from happening to anyone else.
Dude, I don't think he's happy about this. You know, I am really insecure about my face burns now, and I go every day thinking about that accident and what could have been. Today, I hadn't thought about it yet, but now I have. So thank you. No, let's recreate it. Let's immortalize it in your TV show. Why not?
To pull this off, we bring in a pyrotechnic specialist.
Anybody that's within 4 to 6 feet of this is going to feel heat coming off of it.
James, you would know. You were like right next to that thing, and you got burned. I saw the video. Alright.
Stand in for James. A nice juicy ham.
It's crazy how close it is to human skin there.
Okay, fire in 3, 2, 1.
Dude, this is like really bizarre to be looking at through James's eyes. That was my body right there, under that kind of flame. They even drew his face on this thing. It's like, this is you. Just so you know, that's you. Look at this.
The flame is cooking our ham at 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to cause third-degree burns on human flesh in a fraction of a second.
And that it did.
This demonstration takes James on an unwanted stroll down memory lane.
Yeah, thanks guys. Look at him trying to play it cool over there. It's just like, oh god.
The neck of the guitar I had was a natural colored wood. It was charred black, except where my hand was nice and white. All the strings instantly melted and exploded. Basically, my hand, the whole left side of me was, you know, my hair, everything just kind of went off. This was pretty much down to bone.
Dude, I was thinking about bringing pyrotechnics to the next competition that I'm doing, but I don't know, man. That might be a little scary. I don't want my nails to melt off.
Pretty much a year recovery.
Really?
Oh, everything's great. You know, just obviously a different color.
Our reenactment might have struck the wrong chord. But those concerns quickly went up in smoke.
It's looking pretty bad.
Much better now.
This and this, all expressions of the same mathematical principles. And that math is pretty basic once you start adding it up.
Let's start with guitar. Let's start with just an octave, the most basic interval that we actually hear as, you know, the same note in a different place.
For you non-music people,
Uh-oh, we're gonna get an octave lesson.
a typical musical scale consists of 7 notes, with the first repeated at the end.
I'm lost. What's with the different durations? What's going on here? Whoa, what?
Consists of 7 notes, with the first repeated at the end.
Also, they're displaying a C major scale, but we just heard an A major scale. Also, this low C doesn't have a ledger line, and it's like kind of low. It's a little lower than it should be. Also, this measure is blank and there's no rest in it, but there is a repeat, so you're supposed to repeat the whole thing? This is Marson How Music Works all over again. This is all wrong. Okay.
7 notes, with the first repeated at the end.
Sorry for all the perfect pitch people out there.
The first and last note of this series is an octave. For instance, when you play the E string of a guitar without pressing down,
Which E string? We should call it the 6th or the 1st string if we're gonna call it that.
you
right?
get a low E.
Let's see if it's actually an E. Hey, they're in tune, alright.
If you press down halfway up the string, it will vibrate twice as fast, giving you a high E.
Yes, that's very true. The string will vibrate twice as fast. Therefore, we're taking the frequency of our first note and doubling it, which is what an octave is to us. Let me just point out, though, this technique is a little bad. Where this man is pressing right now, this is actually the worst place you'd want to press when you're trying to fret a note. At this point in the fret, you'd have to press down with a lot of force to actually get the note to come out cleanly. Show you on a bigger fret. fret so you can actually see it. Right next to it. And then where they are is here. You have to press down super hard. Not what you want to do. And if you play it like how they're doing it, it's going to make it really hard to actually play. You know, like quickly. Because you have to put so much force into it.
I assume you guys all know what octave is in terms of,
You think they know what octaves are? They're a bunch of freaking hillbillies. They don't know anything.
But have you guys ever seen one?
I don't think so, no.
What do you mean seen one? What is that supposed to mean? You're gonna shock these mountain people with your modern technology showing them an octave? What are you doing right now? What are you, some fancy-pantsy Yankee with some technology? Would you sell your soul to the devil for this? What is this?
Good thing I came today, isn't it?
So if you hit the low E and the octave above it in unison.
Ooh, nice tone. Good job. Maybe you could back off on the velocity a little bit there, but it's alright. Here, let me play an octave too. Hold on. Ah, wonderful. Sound like I'm in Red Hot Chili Peppers now. Sorry, I'm being a douchebag.
So music is simple. Just apply mathematics.
Yeah, all great musicians do that.
If you're played on two different strings, the frequency of vibration in one is a direct multiple of the other.
Whoa, that's actually kind of cool right there. You can see the oscillations, how this one oscillates half as much as the other one. That's actually kind of dope. I'm glad they're showing that. Look at that.
The frequency of vibration in one is a direct multiple of the other.
That was actually pretty cool.
In heavy metal, this principle is the same. Even when played at lightning-fast speed by legendary guitarist Kirk Hammett.
Totally.
What do you consider the important parts about your playing?
Well, actually, a lot of my technique comes from my right hand.
Same, bro.
Velocity of the picking on my right hand. For my left hand, there is a lot of like hammer-ons and pull-offs. Like for instance, move it all over the neck.
So these are the foundations of your technique, eh? Alright, fair enough. Kind of changed scales halfway there. Did you do that on purpose? Alright, just checking.
No right hand necessary.
No right hand necessary.
In a hammer-on, a finger presses a vibrating string into a fret, shortening it and making it play a higher note. The pull-off is the opposite of the hammer-on. The finger is released, so the vibrating part of the string becomes longer and plays a lower note.
I always thought the hammer-on were straight up and down, but it seems like you're giving it a lot of the energy by plucking it, almost the way your right hand would.
Yeah, I'm hammering on with my finger, and the pull-off is off to the side.
You know, we have all the technology to examine this, but there are classical guitar documents that explain in pretty accurate detail how to do slurs, and those documents have existed for like 200 years or something like that. So it's kind of funny using such advanced technology just to rediscover something that's like, we already know the answer to this. Like, Yo Bet Soar Variations has existed for a long time, and there's a crazy freaking slur variation in that. He played it pretty well, I assume. So he knew how to do slurs. You didn't need high-speed cameras for that. Anywho, I'm just defending the old. Out with the new, in with the old. That's what I always say.
It is kind of up and down, and then you scrape off sideways.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, just to put it in perspective, this entire clip that we're watching is probably 2 seconds. Wow. So you were doing that awfully fast.
Playing heavy metal guitar is an aggressive sort of technique to begin with. You really have to hit the strings pretty heavily for maximum effect.
Not a lot of really, really quiet playing.
No delicate strings, because there's not really that much delicate playing.
Kirk's right. Delicate and Metallica do not belong in the same sentence. But delicate might be a better environment to learn a little bit more about music and the emotions it can create.
I love that they had to bring in the string band just to do the octave examples for them. Like, what, would Metallica not be able to do it? Hey, we booked Metallica, so we're gonna break some stuff with them. To get some actual music footage, we have a little band here, a little acoustic band.
To take it a little more advanced, why don't we use the violin and do fifths, which is 3:2 frequency ratio. So the second simplest thing next to octaves.
Yeah, simple to you. We're still trying to catch up on that whole octave thing.
Yeah, I'm lost. Do you guys know what he's talking about? Fifths? Is that like a fifth of vodka? Is that what you're saying right now?
You know, an octave, we just hear almost as one note in two places. You go to a fifth and it's kind of part of one note, and then you go to the major third and it starts sounding happy. You keep going smaller and you get to minor thirds and then diminished and then minor seconds. You get smaller and smaller ratios, and we get kind of less and less happy about it. Our measure of happy versus sad in music is basically how simple is this fraction.
Wow, there's a lot of opinions being thrown around here. That is certainly one of the opinions you can have about music. I don't really associate happy and sad with this kind of stuff. My My feelings about it are this. You have the octave, which is the first harmonic, and because it's the same note, you almost hear them as sort of indistinguishable. It's really just reinforcing the first harmonic that you'd hear. It's just bringing it out, it's making it louder. And then when we're adding the fifth, which I'll actually go an octave higher, we're just reinforcing the second harmonic now, so it still kind of feels like one note, because that note is already so present. It's in there. And everything we've heard so far are perfect intervals, so they don't sound like major or minor. But now, finally, when we get to our first major interval, so we're just reinforcing that third harmonic now when we play a G sharp above that. And what makes the minor third so crunchy, in my opinion, is that we're playing E, that G sharp is present in this E. It's always in there. You can hear it. Hear it now? But when I play a G over that, it's directly imposing that G sharp that's already naturally in that E, so it makes this crunchy, like, oscillating sound. And that is the crunchiness, or the natural, like, dissonance in a minor chord. Because that's going on in there. Versus dissonant. Hear that? Now, does that make you feel happy or sad? I don't know. When I hear a major second, which is like one further than the minor third into the sad realm, does that make you feel sad? Like, I don't know. Not really. So I would sub out happy and sad for consonance and dissonance, personally. Like, obviously, once you go to the minor second, that's a very dissonant interval. And that's actually the interval you hear that makes a minor chord so dissonant. It's that G to G sharp minor second that you're hearing. The G sharp being in your fundamental E, like one of the harmonics, and then the G natural being a note that you're playing on top, making it a minor chord. There's a minor second rubbing in that. All right, and that's it. Moving on.
It's just like a measure of math.
Right.
Yeah, that's an opinion, once again. Also, mine's an opinion too, but I feel like I'm kind of displaying it with just factual things that are happening when you play certain notes. And I'm trying to leave out language like happy and sad and just using like consonance and dissonance, which is pretty objective, I think. Like, it's not objective, obviously, but it's pretty objective. Consonance and dissonance is a perception, but like, you know, we have to label something if we want to, you know, get anywhere. But I just think happy and sad is just sort of like preschoolish. It's just a little funny to use, I guess.
Certain notes, for instance, a 1 and a 5th, sound happy when sounded together.
Sure, like, they're just saying that. Like, they sound happy objectively. You have to deal with that now. That's a happy sound. If you don't hear that, you're weird and wrong.
As the notes get closer, the more dissonant or sadder the sound. Got that?
God, I so don't agree with that at all. That's why all of Metallica's songs are so sad, because they're dissonant and in minor and all that, right? It's just sad, sad music. That's the only emotion that's present in Metallica. Go and listen to Metallica. It'll make you sad, right? And no, obviously that's not true. So there's way more to it than that, and happy and sad is just not a great way to explain it, I think.
Musical science applies even to heavy metal. You've heard the lecture. Now, here is Professor Kirk with the lab. And even with the high-speed slow-mo camera, it's hard to take notes.
Yeah, man, his hand was flying. It was like lightning.
This is just...
Oh my god, let me see that again.
Slow-mo camera, it's hard to take notes.
Woo! Do you have like 1 million frames a second to capture that? I don't know, dude. Too fast for technology. They should refilm this in 2025. We have some better cameras now, probably.
This is just some general finger work.
Looks like, wow.
Taking your time.
I've never seen my fingers move so slowly before, ever.
Wow, maybe you should examine your fingers moving that slowly more often. Maybe in real time. You never know, you might learn something about your playing, like something that's happening that's just not good. It's like, oh, that's slowing me down, right? Okay, let's see this.
At 1,000 frames per second,
wow. Dude, look at that pinky pounce like it's a cheetah just jumping from a cliff. Look at that. It's all the way out there. Watch this.
At 1,000 frames per second.
Does it need to be like that? And look, he lands in the middle between the strings. You can practice this slow, just landing on the string. You don't have to go all the way out from the stratosphere here and land on this little target. My God.
We can see how Kirk's incredible dexterity creates this blizzard of notes.
Wow, it's so much movement. Look at that.
Now you're just doing a vibrato there?
Yeah, that looks like just a regular vibrato, yeah.
Yeah, that looks like a vibrato right there. What?
Well, it's interesting to see the way my hand is kind of rocking back and forth.
I think they got the clips confused there, because that was certainly not a vibrato. If it was... Whoa, whoa.
It's pretty interesting to me.
Ooh, all right. I've been filming for an hour, which is like, that's my cue to stop. Hey, so how about this? We're about halfway through this Metallica video. If you guys like, I will finish doing the whole thing where we'll cover the bass player, I forget his name, and Lars, which can be interesting. I feel like we got the main guys out of the way here, so I'm pretty satisfied with that. Hey, no offense, Metallica. I'm sorry, you know, just having fun here. Also, I'm a classical snob. Also, what you have achieved in your life compared to what I've achieved in my life is so vast. It's so much better than my thing. My life sucks, alright? So just keep that in mind. I think we can go ahead and wrap this one up here. Of course, if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. Also, sorry, Kirk. I don't mean to make fun of you, but, you know, I'm not the only one who does it. Hey, 15% off of Rootin's Delight right now, so head on down over to Rootin's Delight for some honest merch. What else we got? I have an email. If you want to send some hate mail, you can do that. I used to offer guitar lessons, and that's where you'd contact me, but I don't do that right now, so I'm sorry. Not that you'd want guitar lessons from watching this video, but I promise I do play classical guitar, and I teach classical guitar. Just not right now, but maybe one day. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.